Okay, I'm going to go ahead and introduce week 7 to you, which is July the 16th through July the 22nd, which is talking about making plans, giving directions, family, and desires and preferences. Okay, you're going to want to study pages, my goodness. Okay, you're going to want to study pages 114 to 123 in your text. You're going to want to review pages 27 to 37, pages 40 to 49, pages 58 to 66, 67 to 68, 78 to 84, and 96 to 100. After completing this week's work, you should be able to use classroom and leisure vocabulary, as well as the present tense of the verbs and expressions tener que, necesitar, and ir a, to write a detailed description of what you need to do next week so you do not miss any more assignments. You should also be able to talk about your family and express your desires and preferences and be able to plan activities. This week's work addresses student learning outcomes 1, 2, and 5, and it's all due by the 19th of July. So you want to start off by watching your instructor-made videos, which just deal, I think, with Chapter 4 vocabulary, so there's 2 of them. Then you're going to want to open up the class participation forum, click on the thread, hit reply, and post any questions or concerns you have about the material covered in that video or any other questions or concerns you have about any other material covered in the class. But remember, this is a way for us to check in, and it is a grade, so if you have no questions, you need to at least post you have no questions. Otherwise, you will get a 0 for the assignment. Okay, then we want to go back out to the site. You have Oral Dialogue 3. So a couple of weeks ago, let's see here. You would have had a workshop on Oral Dialogue 3. Then the week before this one, someone would have critiqued, myself included, the script that you've prepared. I'm going to move that workshop down, whoops, too far, right here, so you'll be able to click on it, open it up, see the feedback you receive from me and from your fellow classmates. Then you want to use that script to actually do your recording. So if you open it up, this just goes over the things that should be included in the recording, which you should have already done in your script anyway. This video will tell you how to do a recording in iLos. When you're ready, hit record. I also posted here how you could use Vocaroo to make the recording, but if you still have trouble, I think I have a few other ways that you can make your recording, so just reach out to me if you're struggling. Okay. Oh, but when you do that, whichever way you use the recording, make sure when you add your submission that you paste the link to your video or your recording in iLos. Otherwise, I can't get to your recording. Okay. Writing assignment 2. Last week you would have had a, let me go back here, sorry. For writing assignment 2, you would have had a workshop right here. So that is going to be moved down to this week. You wrote your first draft. Now you're going to see someone else's draft, and you're going to go in and critique it as well as myself. And then you'll be able to see your critique drafts next week when you're asked to write your final version. For assignment 8, it tells you to visit my language labs, and you're going to complete, you're going to want to watch Pura Vida. Pura Vida is right here, so you'll want to click on it. And again, you can put on the captions, which are in Spanish, so you can see. Okay, so you can hear her talking and see the captions. Okay, and then these are the various assignments that you're going to want to complete. So if we go out into my language labs and we go over to July the 19th, all right, you'll see the various activities on Chapter 4 and a little bit on Chapter 3 that you need to complete. Okay, so do the same thing again. You just open up each assignment, and then you just attempt the assignment, click, drop down, and then hit finish and submit for grading. You can do it as many times as you would like before the assignment's due date, but if you're doing it more than 3 times, then you probably want to reach out to me. You might need additional help with it. Okay, we also have this week your test on your test on the second half of Chapter 3, Test 6. This is the last test before the final. Again, you've got 3 hours and 1 attempt, so don't open it until you're ready. But here it says, do you know all of the forms of this irregular verb? Complete the sentence with the correct form of the verb a star. So you're just going to make a star, you're going to change the spelling of a star to reflect who it is that's married or who is bored, etc. Okay, so you have a few of those. Complete the following sentences with the correct form of the verb ser or ir. So here you're going to decide between ser and ir, and then you also need to change the spelling to reflect who it is that is or is going to do something. Okay. Here, las actividades y los edificios. Complete the sentence with the most logical word. So you've got a word bank. Just take the letter and plug it into the blank here. So it says Mario mira pinturas y esculturas, and where would he be doing that? Okay. Ser versus a star. Help Daniel finish a paragraph describing his family with the correct forms of the verb ser or star. So you choose between ser and a star, and then you need to make the spelling match your subject. So you can't just have ser and a star. You're going to have to change the spelling. Here, you're planning to study abroad at La Universidad de Quintana Roo, a small university in the south of Mexico. Before you leave, make sure you know all the buildings by identifying an item that would likely be found there. So these are the items. Just take the item and plug it in beside the place. Here, your classmate wants to see how well you know the location of buildings on the university campus. Based on the picture below, decide whether the following statements are cierto or falso. This will also take you to an HTML version, like if you're having a hard time reading the image. Whoops. Okay. So it says, detrás de la biblioteca hay una cancha de tenis. If that's true, write cierto. If it's false, write falso. Okay. ¿Qué hace Marta? Marta is a typical busy university student. Listen to the description of what she usually does during the week. Then decide whether each of the following statements is cierto or falso. So if you go here, you can hear. Okay, so you would listen to what Marta is doing. And then you'll decide whether to write in cierto, falso, or no se menciona based upon what you heard. Ir or hacer, choose the correct form of the verb to complete each sentence. So you'll decide, so it's already conjugated out for you, so just write the letter of the verb and verb form that would best complete the sentence. And that's everything you have to do for this week.